Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharineni Vishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataru Vishwapipasini Bhagavacha Patitanam Pavani Vaishnavi Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradha Jashodanandana Braja Janandana Jashodanandana Braja Janaran Jamuna Tira Vanacha Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Gurudev Gurudev Dev Jaya Jaya Dev. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers. Hare Krishna Charles, nice to see you. Mother Soma, Mother Madhavi, Mother Shivani, Ajit Prabhu, Mother Padma, Prahladananda Prabhu, and so many Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, Vancha Kalpatar Vishwavas, and the Vachpati Ram, Vishwam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are beginning our Bhagavad Gita today with where we left last Wednesday, chapter 8, text 7. So before we begin, we want to have a clear conception of Bhagavan. So we pray to Lord Vasudev by folding hand and uttering his mantra. So please chant together with me. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nastaprai Bhadresu Nittam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Om Jnanati Mirandasya Yenanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam jena bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantikam Vande Aham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very unique chapter. We discussed this last couple of weeks. How a soul, you, me, we all are, at the moment of death, proceed towards our next destination. What determines where we are going, what kind of body next life we will get, whether in spiritual world or somewhere in this world, may not be discussed so much. It's not important. We traveled enough, I think, different body. But how we can reach to spiritual world, what determines what state of consciousness we can reach, that we can remember Krishna, then we can reach Krishna Loka and live with the Lord eternally. So in the first sloka, we discuss the sixth question, which added one more, 7th question, that Arjuna asked and Krishna answered. So first question was, I hope you all remember. I don't see anyone new. You all are aware. It's what is Brahman, what is Adhatma, and what is Adibhuta, Adidaiva, and how are you to be known by the self-control at the time of death. So then on the text 3, Krishna reveals that Krishna, Brahman, is the imperishable, supreme. Adhatma is the inherent nature of the self, Shabha. An action that leads to the formation of living being, material bodies, is called karma. And then Krishna revealed more to Arjuna that Adi Bhuta is the perishable material existence. Adi Daiva is the supreme divine agent. And Adi Jagna is myself, I, Krishna says, how I live inside the body of every living being. Imagine the day you meet the Lord and you ask, did you stayed inside my body? How did you stay? How come I didn't see? It will be a nice question to ask. You can begin with that. Then text 5, we discuss those, very important, one of the words that Prabhupada quotes or every Acharya quotes. At the time of death, how the memory comes and how you relinquish this body and you attain the state of being of this. And Krishna says there should not be any doubt. Very important. Then last week we discussed why is what is remembered at the time of death is so important. Prabhu and mothers, right now what are you thinking? You may think like, is it really that important? Hey, if it was the moment of death, yeah. You're thinking of a piece of pizza, or you may have to take birth in a place where the pizza is made. You, if you think of America or some movie or some incident, that's what you're going to get. It's so crucial. That's it. The moment of death. Yes. Yes. You know, when your tire of the car hits the road, you holding the steering, you take right turn, you go to right. You're not going to straight or left. Oh, I did a mistake. It doesn't matter. You steer towards the, right, you will go to right. You steer toward the left, you will go. I meant to go to straight. I just did a mistake. It does not matter. Your car will go which way. So similarly, your destination is determined at the moment of death. It sounds scary. Yes, it is scary. It should be scary. But then we practice. That's why Prabhupada made it very clear that we practice. When we practice so nicely, every day we think of Krishna, we chant Krishna's name, we honor Krishna's prasadam. What we are doing, it's a preparation that at the last moment of death, we will not do that mistake. So in a one sentence, please remember this chapter. 1 to 4, Krishna answered Arjuna's 6th question. 5 to 8, how to remember at the moment of death. And today we are discussing the 8th, the last verse. So I need somebody to help me with the verse. You can read and the translation. That will be nice. Any volunteer? You have Bhagavad Gita in front of you?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll be glad to do it.
Okay, please. Go ahead, Ajit Prabhu.
All right, thank you. Text 8. Adhyasya Yoga Yuktena.
No.
Text 8, right?
Well, sorry, 7.
7, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then 8. Okay.
Tasma Sarvesu Khalesu Mam Amusmara Anushmara Yudhya Cha May Arpita Mana Buddhir Mam Evasyasi Asam Saya. Synonyms: Tasmat, therefore; Sarvesu, at all; Khalesu, times; Mam, me; Anusmara, go on remembering; Yudhya, fight; Cha, also; Mai, unto me; Arpita, surrendering; Mana, mine; Buddhi, intellect; Mam, unto; me, eva; surely; Asyasi, you will attain; Asam Saya, beyond a doubt. Asam Saya, beyond a doubt. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Purport. The instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's name, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishna Lok, without a doubt.
Very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right.
So this is very nice. I hope we all paid attention. Whatever activity somebody is doing, if you tell him stop it and just chant and become devotee right now, it may not work. So what Prabhupada is very compassionately saying, that you introduce Krishna consciousness slowly, slowly, and eventually it will purify his activity or her activity, whatever he is doing. If they start adapting slowly, slowly, then it will purify their existence. If you make the bar very high standard, you have to follow four equality principle from tonight, and then you will become, it will be very difficult for everybody. If they can do it, is great, but it should not be by force, but gradual progression. We remember one disciple was smoking, and Prabhupada asked if he can reduce the amount. It will be nice, because he has love for Prabhupada, and he slowly reduced, and then eventually he gave up completely smoking. So like that, it will be gradual progress. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to Raghunath Das Goswami. Sthir haiya ghare jao naho batul, krame krame pai log bhava sindhuku. Sthir haiya, be fixed in your practice. Krame krame, gradually, step by step, you will come to fully in Krishna. But don't act like a madman. Act like a normal, the world sees you. You don't have to shave up tonight, put on tilakam. No, you can just do slowly, slowly. If you are eating meat 7 days a week, eat maybe 3 days a week. Reduce slowly, 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 and then you eventually you give up. Krame krame pai log bhava sindhuku. Mahaprabhu says gradually, gradually, slowly, slowly, you come out of it. So we have to remember Krishna at the time of death. How we will remember? That's the question. And the answer is given here. For that, we have to remember him throughout our life. Prabhus and mothers, is not going to happen all of a sudden if you just if you don't practice this every day, you think all of a sudden at the moment of death you will get Krishna. That will be a nice idea, but Krishna says you grow slowly. So that's why Prabhupada's translation, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna at the time of death. At the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. Is the fighting, is Krishna consciousness? Yes, if it is for pleasing Krishna. So killing also bhakti. Generally, we don't promote that way. But here Arjuna is killing. But Krishna says, if you think of me and kill the enemy, that will please him. And that is pure bhakti. No difference between Arjuna's killing and somebody in the altar doing deity puja, offering incense and light to the deity, and Arjuna killing in the battlefield, same, no difference. Because both for the pleasure of Krishna. If I ask you a question, is there any difference between, is there any gradation between all the services in the temple? Somebody is cleaning the toilet, and somebody is cooking for deity, and somebody is offering incense in the temple. Is there any difference? Somebody would like to help with the answer? Yes, Charles, unmute.
I think all service is equal if it's done with full compassion and love for Krishna.
Good
Because
answer.
I do services in the morning to get ready for the services, and then I go to the kitchen, and I'm doing it with all my love, both services. That's why I say all services are equal if they're done with full compassion for Krishna.
Good. Good. Mother Sushilpa?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. I'm still not clear when you say killing is same as deity puja. So if killing is with respect to Krishna, then it's allowed. Could you please elaborate?
Yes, I will. Now, in one sense, we think like this, Charles. That's true. There's no difference. But let me ask you this question. Can you pay somebody, say $20 or $30 to clean the floor? Yes or no? Instead of you. You can pay somebody to do it. Yes or no?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes. Can you pay somebody to hear and understand for you while the class is going on?
No.
So I want you all to understand this. Yes, in one level, there is no difference we see. But to progress in spiritual path, there is a subtle things that we have to individually involve. We cannot pay somebody to hear for me. That is not possible. He or she will hear for herself. And the understanding that you will have when you hear, right now you are hearing, but you can pay somebody to hear for you, but that understanding is not going to you.
No.
So there is a little difference. Even though there is no difference we don't grade like this, but in our spiritual progress, our attention, our love, mother loves for the child cannot be replaced by another lady. I mean, another lady can express that love to mother, but cannot replace mother's affection. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So similarly, our love for Krishna is our love, my love. The way Mother Yashoda deals with Krishna, it cannot be replaced, even though there is millions of Gopi mothers are there. But Mother Yashoda is Mother Yashoda. Krishna reciprocate with each individual difference. Mother Brinda Gopika. I never met you. Welcome to this session.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Koti Koti Danvat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Gopinath Ki Jai. From last 5 years hearing your class in Shri Bhakti Sangha group, Prabhuji, the answer of your question is, all the seva is equal, Prabhuji, but I hear from you that Srila Prabhupada love those who are sweep and mop the kitchen, the temple hall, and clean the vessels, cooking vessels, a big Vaishnava, all the Vaishnavas Sunday program. So there is an equality between the brahmacharis doing arti and those who are doing sweep and mops and clean the vessels in the temple. So Srila Prabhupada liked this service so much. Hari Bol Prabhuji, Koti Koti Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Gopinath Ki Jai. And the second answer is 100 or 1000 nanny equal to one mother. So we cannot compare with a mother seva with 100 or 1000 nanny. And Mother Yasoda Maya, Srimati Shri Kunti Maharani, Shri Draupadi Maharani, Srimati Shri Subhadra Rani. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mata. I tell you one story. I grew up in Mayapur when I joined. And one devotee, Bhavananda Maharaj, he mentioned something very interesting that I never forget. Prabhupada gave class, and after the class, during the class, he looked around who is present. And then after the class, he asked that sannyasi, where were you? He said, I was cleaning the floor upstairs. That's where I got that idea. Prabhupada said, you can pay somebody to clean the floor, but you cannot pay someone to understand the philosophy. When your guru speaks, you should be in the class. Yes, in one angle, there is no difference, but when there is a Harikatha is priority. Just like a chanting, the tongue, we have all the senses. We have 5 active senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. But the bhakti began with the tongue, chanting. It's very important. There is no gradation, but there is some priority. Gradation is there. Rupa Goswami Pad did not say any senses, all are equal. He says, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grajyam indiye seva unmukhi jibbado jibba. He said jibba. Began with the tongue. So that's why we promote chanting. Now, very important, priority. That has to be there. In one level, there is no difference in a spiritual level, but as far my progress, individual, personal, there has to be hearing, chanting is priority. I hope that's clears up this. So let's discuss this verse little bit, and then we will, because I like the word-to-word meaning. Why Prabhupada put word-to-word meaning? If you ever wonder, we read the translation, but word-to-word meaning, Prabhupada spent a lot of time every day translating word-to-word meaning, because there is a deep meaning about it. So in this verse, he says, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu. Therefore, at all time of Arjuna, Mam anusmara juddhacha. Remember me and fight. I don't know if any one of you ever practiced that. So now there is a progression. Deepening of the devotion in Bhagavad Gita 3.30, famous verse. Krishna is saying, you do your work and offer your fruit to me. So that means offering comes after doing the work. Can you understand this? When you say offer your fruit to me, means you finish the work, then offer it. You work hard, you got the salary, then you give it to temple or Krishna. So after the work, then you give the fruits. That's what that sloka means. But here in this sloka, he says, the first you think of me, then do your work. So it is not just a post-action offering, but it is a pre-action meditation. Does that make sense? If you look at this, between these two verses, I was meditating today while driving. Pre-action, connection, mam anushmara juddhacha. So why do we remember Krishna? Not because he's the fruit of the offering, but because he's the Lord of my heart. He is my all in all. Everything that I do for him. Even the juddha, for Arjuna, the prescribed duty is fighting. But different people prescribed duty will be different. So whatever will be the prescribed duty, we do that. Mamanusmara juddhacha. So in this way, when we offer ourselves entirely to Krishna, we also do a prescribed duty. Then naturally, our prescribed duty is directed towards Krishna. Then Krishna says, Maya, Mai arpita mano buddhi. So Krishna says, if you keep remembering me, what will happen? Not only is your work offered to me, but also your subtle body becomes offered to me. Prabhus and mothers, Sometimes I do a lot of stupid things also, not necessarily I want to do. I'm chanting physically, Hare Krishna, and mind is thinking, what that Mataji did, what that Prabhu did yesterday was not right, or that Prabhu was arguing with another day. You know, like mind went. So I asked that question to myself, hey, who is chanting? My lips are vibrating, Hare Krishna, but my mind is thinking something else. If you very closely, you pay attention, this verse is so good. Krishna says, think of me first and then fight. It goes side by side. So that's why this sloka is so important. The mind and intelligence will be offered to me. If we think and also chant, both think of Krishna and chanting Krishna's name, then it's called smaran. He didn't say kirtan, moment of death, do the kirtan. He didn't say that. Krishna is the most scientific way explaining. So when you do this in your life, you are actually living to develop love for Krishna. Then we are living for Krishna. Then naturally we have the opportunity for pleasure and focus on Krishna. Eventually we will attain Sri Krishna. That's guaranteed in this verse. Mam evashyasi asamsaya. Samsaya means doubt. Without doubt, you will attain me. Now, Srila Prabhupada here, Ajit Prabhu just read in the purport, this instruction to Arjuna is very important, Prabhupada writes, for all men engaged in material activities. So which is all of us are engaged in material activities. I mean, I don't know all of you, but generally a lot of devotees in Alachua are like this. They do work outside to maintain their family. While we engage in material activity, if we can remember Krishna. Now, how can we remember Krishna? That our sadhana is very important. It is not that if we don't do our sadhana, all day we just do our work, our family, for other material activities, suddenly we think of Krishna. No. Actually, we have to give exclusive time for quality connection with Krishna. That's why getting up early morning to really chant attentively, it's compulsory for a serious student. When Krishna is in our foreground of consciousness, at that time, through our prayers, through our meditation, through our spiritual study, through our deity worship, through our devotee association, through our going to pilgrimage occasionally, once a year or whatever, go to temple regularly, at least during these times, Sri Krishna is in foreground of our consciousness. Then, while doing worldly activity, maybe worldly activity are on the foreground, but Krishna will be in our background. But if all times we are doing worldly activity are in foreground, then Krishna will not be even in background. I hope you grasp that. He will be just out of the ground only. That is not of much use for us. So we want to remember Krishna constantly, at least for some time, we remember Krishna. Primarily, if not exclusively, and by that practice, we will be able to remember Krishna constantly. Then again, Krishna reassured Arjuna, Asamsaya. Those words are so powerful. It came from the sweet divine lips of Krishna. He said, Asamsaya, in 2 verses, Krishna assured here with only 1 verse between 8, right now we just 8.5 and now is 8.7. So this is Krishna reassuring Arjuna, guaranteeing Arjuna, if you do this, you will come back to me. That is what Srila Prabhupada told us. If we follow the process of Krishna consciousness, which is given to us for lifelong, even if we have many disqualification, even if we have many conditioning, it does not matter. We will all be able to return back to Krishna by faithfully adhering to the process he is giving us. Now, in this case, all these soldiers that are actually in the battlefield, if they sooner they dissolve their body by Arjuna's arrow, then their sinful nature stops. And Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra also simultaneously dissolving their subtle body. When the physical body and subtle body dissolve, what is left? Can you help me? What is left?
Spiritual body.
The spiritual body, the
Body.
soul body. At that time, actually, you can see Krishna in the chariot. At that time, you can see Krishna in your heart. Now, Prabhus and mothers, you cannot see the attitude. Whatever attitude you have, if you don't like Krishna like Shishupal, he did not like Krishna. And Prabhupada said it very clear. Even though Sudarshan Chakra killed him, his physical body, subtle body dissolved, only the soul. At that time he saw Krishna, but because he did not like Krishna, Krishna is never going to force you to like him. That is voluntary choice. This is what the main important practice. He merged, that's all. You will merge into the effulgence of Krishna. You will not go to Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan. You're liking Krishna, you want to serve him, you want to please him, that is most important. That is with you. You make that choice. Krishna is not going to force you. As far as dissolving the physical and subtle, Krishna will help you. But as for loving him, he cannot help you. It is up to you. So what we are focusing on, connection or contribution? Ask that question, mothers and Prabhu. Ask yourself right now. What you are focusing every day? Is it connection or contribution? Whatever practice we do, sometimes become discouraged, thinking I can't make any worthwhile contribution. I don't know if anything happened to you, any one of you. I thought many times, not so much nowadays, but before, oh gosh, I'm not really a good person, good devotee. I'm trying, but I don't see advances. To avoid such discouragement, I found a good way to look at it also. We need to get our priorities straight. Devotion has two broad components, connection and contribution. We strive to connect internally with Krishna through remembering, chanting, contribute externally to Krishna's mission through service. So ideally, both connection and contribution grow in synergy. The more we become connected to Krishna through our committed spiritual practice, like chanting or hearing is very powerful. This word that we just read, it's very powerful. The more we feel enriched with divine satisfaction and love, being thus enriched, we often become more enthusiastic to share that enrichment with others, isn't? I'm sure some of you feel that way. I feel when I got like this morning, I was contemplating that we have a three existence. Rukmini Devi did not have a three existence. She has only one. She had a spiritual body. She didn't have to deal with her mind, with her physical body. No, she was the Satchidananda soul body. So when she wrote the love letter to Krishna, this is my guessing, was the first love letter from Rukmini Devi to Krishna, and probably this world got infection of that. So that was very wonderful. because she didn't have to deal with the three separate. But for me, conditioned soul, we have three existence. We have a soul, we have a subtle body, we have a physical body. So every day you eat prasadam. That's nice. You go to sleep, you bathe. These are physical body. You take care of your physical body, that's nice. But that's not enough, Prabhus and mothers. You also have to understand the philosophy to purify your subtle body. If consciousness is not pure behind your action, you cannot progress. Why am I doing this? Why am I hearing Krishna Katha? Oh, Krishna wants me to hear. 7.1. You look at the verse, 7 chapter, first verse. Krishna says, if you want to know me completely, without doubt, hear about me. So we are following Krishna. He wants us to hear about him. And he said, you will have no more doubt. You'll come back to me. What is that verse? Maye shakta manapartha jogam junjam madashraya. Asangsaya samagramma jata gasyashi tat srinu. Srinu. What should I do? I want to progress. I really want to advance in spiritual path. What should I do? Anybody has that sloka 7.1 in front of you? You can read the translation. Because I don't know if you ever doubted, what should I do to advance very quickly? Here Krishna says, he revealed the secret. He says 7.1, Krishna says, here. Yes, Mother Sushilpa, you have it?
Just the translation, right, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Not purport. Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Partha, how, Pratha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt.
So this is Krishna reveals. You want to know me completely without doubt? Hear about me. So when we hear about Krishna, we should think, oh, it is for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm pleasing Krishna just by hearing about him. So more we focus like this, our heart will be illuminated with Krishna consciousness. So this is very important. We need to know that whatever Krishna wants to be done in the world, he can do it through anyone by empowering them. In fact, he does not even need anyone. He can just do it himself by using his omnipotence to intervene miraculously in the world's course. What he wants, Prabhus and Mother, this is very important. What Krishna wants, he can do everything. He doesn't need any one of us. You look at it, 11.33, Krishna says, I already put them to death. He told to Arjuna, Hare Baba, if you already put them to death, then why you need Arjuna? This is where we come to play. This is very important. What he wants, what Krishna wants from us, foremost, is our heart. It's our heart. Whenever he offers us opportunity to do any service, his central purpose is to give us way to offer our heart to him. Remember this, we can stay enthusiastic in connecting with Krishna, whether our outer contribution manifests or not. If and when Krishna wants, he will empower us to make a bigger contribution. And Prabhus and Mothers, even if he does not, he will keep drawing us closer to him through a connection. Through the connection, we have strived to establish him. So we should remember that on the path of bhakti, contribution is meant to deepen connection, not discourage us from connection. This is very important. On the path of bhakti, what we should do? We should contribute, but contribution is meant to deepen our connection, not discourage us. Prabhus and Mothers, none of you ever should be discouraged, because we are follower of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said there's many discouragement came in his life, but he never felt. He kept on going. This is what Krishna wants us. So what should we do? Don't just keep waiting, Prabhu's and mother. Keep pushing also. Don't just, okay, I'm going on, but maybe I'll wait and someday something will happen. No, you have to keep on pushing also. When urged to practice spiritual life, some people say lethargy, saying I'm waiting to get an inner call. You ever heard that or you ever thought that? Sure, many devotees thought. Will I be a special devotee one day? Like all of a sudden I woke up from the bed and I'm now pure devotee or something. Do we adopt such an approach of waiting in other important walks of life? Ask that question. Consider student pursuing a 4-year degree. I'm sure most of you went to college. Do they just keep waiting for the day of graduation? Come on, Prabhus and mothers. No, they study and prepare, pushing themselves towards attaining the educational level needed for graduating, isn't it? I mean, I did that too. Or consider a pregnant mother nearing delivery. Does she just keep waiting for her baby's birth? No, she keeps pushing too. Without her pushing, delivery can become inordinately delayed, distressing, even dangerous. So in our spiritual life, we too need the same combination of waiting and pushing. Rupa Goswami Pad says 3 things: Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dharja, Tat Karma, Pravartana in Nectar of Instruction. That's why Prabhupada says this is the first book you give when somebody walks in temple. I didn't understand, but now more I think Prabhupada is 100% right. So merciful. Because this is a background law that yes, keep on going, keep on going. Don't feel, whether you feel bad or good, doesn't matter. Keep on going. Push yourself. You'll see one day, wow, I came that far. I'm with Krishna. Yes. We cannot rise from our present level of conditioning to pure devotion overnight. I'm not discouraging you, but be realistic. We need to patiently await divine grace. Then, why do we need to push? You may ask that question. I'm sure some of you might be thinking, why do we need to push ourselves so much? Because devotional patience is not a passive waiting. It is an active working. We need to take small steps towards Krishna. To do that, we can in his service. And by our actions, we need to show him that we desire to come closer to him, to love him, and to live absorbed in him. Only when we this way express our free will, spiritually does Krishna intervene and redirect our life's trajectory. Otherwise, Prabhus and mothers, respecting our free will, we talked about free will almost every classes, I do every day. Krishna lets us continue to stay on in material consciousness, forgetful of him. So stressing the reciprocity between human endeavor and divine grace. This verse that we just read, Tasma Sarvesu Kalesu, assures that we can attain Krishna when we think of him internally and do our duty externally. So bhakti growth is a dynamic blend of waiting and working, of independence on Krishna, diligence for Krishna. So previously in the middle of the class I mentioned we have a 3 existence: physical, subtle, soul. So physically you are maintaining, honoring prasadam, dancing, chanting, those are good. physically you are engaged, but you also have to hear the philosophy, also hear about Krishna, not only just how the mind works, how the intelligence has to be controlling the mind. Those are all good, because without mind control, you cannot think of Krishna. But thinking of Krishna will feed the soul. I hope you all remember. The soul needs food. Subtle body needs food. Physical body needs food. Physical body needs physical food. Your body will be good. But that's not enough. You have to hear the philosophy, how the mind can also misdirect us any moment. You can be in the class and thinking about your something non-Krishna conscious. Mind can really try distract you easily. So you have to know there is a 5 process, how to pull him back. Come on, pay attention what we are discussing here. Like this. Devotion bhakti is expressed through intention and attention, not just emotion and action. This is very important. Because in Bhakti Path, people often, equate devotion with feel-good emotions. Or, they do big fires, jagga. We do also in the temple, and they're very busy. I need some help. You remember in the Krishna book Prabhupada wrote, the Krishna Balaram sent the coward boys, go tell this Brahmana doing the jagna that we are hungry, we need some prasad. Did the Brahmana give? And why didn't they give? They're busy. Are they doing Krishna? Yes, they are doing according to Veda, according to rituals. They are busy doing the jagna, which mantra to chant. But here, the purpose of the jagna to please Krishna, and Krishna sent the boys, go ask for some food. Hey, wait. We need to offer it. Are you offer who? Like one Maharaj in the train, he was offering, ringing bell and offering something in the next compartment. And Prabhupada knocked it. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm offering. He said, who are you offering? He said, to your picture. He said, I'm here. Why you have to offer to my picture? It's very nice, I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want you to look down, because they are very advanced soul. Those who have come in Krishna consciousness, all of you are very advanced soul compared to conditioned soul in this world. So Prabhupada said, I'm here. Why you have to offer to my photo? So when he brought it to Prabhupada, then Prabhupada offered to Krishna and then he took it. So the point is that these Brahmanas, they're busy of offering food to the Jagna, fire sacrifice, and they're preparing. But Krishna Balaram sent these boys, go ask for some food. So wait, it's not ready. We have to offer all this. But Prabhupada made a very nice distinction. Then these boys came back to Krishna Balaram. They said it's not ready. They cannot give right now. It's not proper to ask food before the Jagna. And then Krishna Balaram said, don't worry, go to their wives. And those boys goes to the wives of the Brahmanas. They felt so enthusiastic, so determined, so much connected with Krishna. They filled up their pots with the food that they cooked and made and went with the boys to Krishna Balaram. And Krishna Balaram was so happy. So now those Brahmanas regretted later that what did we do? We went to school, we studied how to chant the mantras. Our wife never went to school, they never studied the mantra, how to chant, how to do jagna. But they had one thing, they had a connection with Krishna, they were absorbing Krishna, and they understood the essence of the whole life, purpose of life, purpose-driven life, you can say, they had. And they achieved the success. And their husband, poor husband, they were like, We know all the mantras, we know everything, but we miss the pleasing the Lord of the Jagna. And Prabhupada gave the answer, because they are purpose driven, they were connected, they understood Krishna is the purpose, not the process is the purpose. Sometimes we are busy with the process, we forget the purpose of that process we do. This is very important. When we practice Krishna consciousness, we may sometimes feel good, sometimes not. I don't know, any one of you ever experienced this? Sometimes you are fired up to chant. Sometimes, I don't know, today I don't feel good. Feel like to sit few minutes. You don't even chant. I mean, I don't know, any one of you ever experienced? I did, to be honestly. So someday I feel excited, someday I don't. When worldly desire dominate our consciousness, Krishna consciousness practice feel tasteless. How can we preserve in Krishna consciousness? Prabhus and mothers, my own experience and Prabhupada's purport guidings, by meditating on our core intention to develop a loving relationship with Krishna. This is very important. By meditating on our core intention to develop a relationship. You know, Bhagavad Gita, in the introduction, Prabhupada said, Arjuna understood because he has a relationship. We will understand Bhagavad Gita better if we can start thinking of Krishna in relationship. You don't have to imagine. He's a master, you are a servant. Simple. Start with that. And as Krishna reciprocate, he's a person. We should always think Krishna is a person. He has a preference. He has a personalities. He has a divine qualities. So to help us solidify this devotional intention, this kind of discussion provides a philosophical framework. And it explains we are who we are. We are soul. Prabhus and mothers, this is my request, what I feel from Prabhupada's lectures. First thing we should focus, negative, what we are not. If you look at Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did not introduce positive first. In second chapter, he begins with negative. What is negative? Nainam chinnanti shasrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kladantapo, na sushayati marata. Soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be burned, soul cannot be wet. You know, you go on. Wait, he's talking about soul? Yes, but he's talking about what is not soul. That is the point. Prabhupada did the same thing. We are not this body. So first thing you should think, we should think. I mean, I'm just requesting you. You don't have to, but this is how I see. The way Krishna present about the soul, about me, who am I? I should think every day. If not every moment, at least sometime in a day. First, I'm not this body. What is body means? Changing, changing taking place. I'm not part of this changing. I'm not changing. Body is changing. Oh, I got a gray hair, wrinkles, oh, getting old. This is not me. Prabhus and mothers, really, you think deeply. I'm not this. It is happening around me. I'm not this. I'm not this changing body. What is Maya? What is material nature? Changing constantly. Soul is not changing. Soul is slumber, sleeping, trying to wake up. When he wakes up, in Krishna consciousness, he will see everything is perfect. And this is required. So first is negative thinking. Second is, you have to focus on those verses, or at least that thought, that I have a relationship with Krishna, I'm a servant of God. Start with that. I'm not a controller, but I have a choice. Meditate on it. Prabhus and Mother, this is very important. I can make the choice. what I want in life. It is not, everything is not automatic. It is I have a choice, even in the most abominable, most, you can say, in danger, you still have a choice to turn towards Krishna. In my life, one time, in my childhood life, I faced a cobra, right? No, I mean in Mayapur, in Prabhupada's garden. I was 1 feet. I was little, not a good person. I hit the snake. I didn't have to hit it. I could just walk by because cobra is like, I always have a fear. So I took the bar and hit the cobra. And cobra, it came back like, and I went unconscious for almost half an hour, according to the security guard. He didn't see this cobra. He thought I was lying down on the ground. It's in the evening. So I mean, there is a fear. But we always have a choice. Even in the most dangerous, we have a choice to think or turn to Krishna, towards Krishna, meditate on Krishna. That choice eternally within us. This is very important. So to help us solidify, so 4 things I mentioned. First is negative, what you are not. Second is what you are. Third is your conception and aware of the material nature. Fourth is that you have a particular sentiment. This is in Bhagavatam 10.14.7. You can read that. Sentiment, in identifying Krishna, you are the shelter, or you can say abode of that love to offer, and Krishna as a beloved to taste it. This is what these 4 concepts, I mean, there couldn't be more, but this 4 concept keeps you very focused. What is your purpose in life? Brothers and mothers, you ask yourself, am I purpose driven? Is this life purpose driven? Ask yourself. Okay, I'll go back and finish this, what I started with. So to help us solidify this bhakti intention and this discussion, it put a philosophical framework. Now it also explained, as we mentioned, that we are soul and parts of Krishna. What does that mean? We are soul and we are part of Krishna. What does that mean? It means to delight in eternal love for him. We can attain that love. How? By daily practice, the process of bhakti yoga. And if we can understand how important cultivating devotion is, we won't stop practicing bhakti just because we don't feel like doing it, as we would not stop doing our job because we don't feel like doing it. I'm sure you all have a practice, some job experience or something you do every day. So when we complement emotion with intention, you can bring steadiness into your connection with Krishna. Please remember that. When you contemplate, when you complement your emotion, feeling with intention, you bring steadiness into your connection with Krishna. So complement action with attention. That is required. Even if we practice Krishna consciousness steadily, we may still do it ritualistically, out of differences to culture, convention, or maybe whatever the tradition our teacher or our temple commander or bhakta ashram teacher taught. But such ritualistic devotion is like going to work just to mark our attendance. When you go to working place, you have to punch the card that you are in. I saw not every places, but some professional places. So when we practice Krishna consciousness, we are not meant to just mark our attendance at certain ritual. We are meant to invest our attention in doing them. knowing that practices, it will offer us precious, rare opportunity to connect our consciousness with Krishna. And actually, believe or not, experience his presence. Sometime in the Kirtan Mangalarti, we see that. We feel the presence of the Lord, holy name, so nicely. Devotees are so fired up. This morning we had that. So when we thus connect ourselves internally by emotion and intention, as well as externally by attentive action with Krishna, guarantee we'll attain him. This is the summary of this verse. So I'll end here. If any takeaway or any other discussion.
Prabhu, I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's
Philip,
just that.
go ahead.
Yeah, so with the story of the wives and the brahmanas, how they had all the knowledge, but they missed the point. The wives had none of the knowledge, but all the understanding. You know, we're supposed to, or at least I see with a lot of the devotees, there's they study the scriptures so they can preach. And I'm trying to figure out, mainly I just read through scriptures and I guess ingest the knowledge, but with the study of it, you actually know the verses, you know where they are, and you can use them to back up your points. But how do you find that balance between studying and accumulating knowledge and actually understanding it, so you don't just become a storehouse of knowledge that you actually haven't realized? Can it hurt you? Is it something that you should just have faith that the knowledge you're accumulating will eventually turn into understanding? How do you balance it out so you don't just become book smart but have no actual realization or understanding of what you're actually learning and memorizing?
Very nice question, Philip. ISKCON is a preaching movement. So just doing things we do is not enough. We should be fully aware why we are doing things we do. Consciousness behind our action is more important than just the action. As far knowledge gathering, I don't know, Philip, if you ever had an experience that you have $1,000, but you left it $1,000 in somebody else's pocket, not in your pocket. And when you needed to buy some food to eat, you are hungry, starving, and you're thinking, well, I have the knowledge, I have the money, but not in your pocket. How do you feel? I have the money, but I need to eat, but I don't have the money because I left the money in my friend's pocket. It's good to have knowledge that your heart can contemplate, because we will be thinking, why am I doing this? Why that person is doing this way? Why that person? Gathering, hearing knowledge. Of course, you gave also another point. If we gather knowledge, I really want everybody to remember, this is very important. If we gather knowledge, but we don't apply in our life to realize it, then it can create pride, could be very dangerous. There's a verse in Bhagavatam, Durvasa Muni, who was very proud, but after he dissolved his pride, he started crying. How Ambarish Maharaj, I was a sannyasi, I'm a Brahman, Ambarish Maharaj is a second class, Kshatriya, and both ashram and varna, both where he is lower than me, but because he has a bhakti. What do you mean bhakti? Means he applied the philosophy. And Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni says, Tapo vidya cho vipranam. Austerity and knowledge, these two things are big wealth in our life. Because we do a lot of austerity, Austerity means get up early morning. Austerity means voluntarily you doing things. I will not eat anything until it is offered to Krishna. These are austerity. Voluntarily you choosing to lead your life like this. this will produce some result. And if we don't apply in our life, then it can become a very dangerous blocks, like you driving, there's a big boulder on the road. Now what do? You have to stop your car. So spiritual growth can be blocked. And if we apply this knowledge, what we gathered, it will become into realized. Then we will carry this result of the realization with our approach to Krishna, and then emotion will follow. And we will actually experience this loving nature. That time it will be revealed. Krishna will reveal through us what will be good, how he will be pleased. This is required. So acquiring knowledge is good, but more important, acquiring knowledge to apply the knowledge. Then it will become realized knowledge. And then when we act on that platform, then it will be revealed knowledge. So it's a gradual progression, it's required. But at the same time, Philip, I know you're not doing this, but in case if we see somebody is gathering knowledge, but it is not doing any application or doing any preaching or anything, we have to be careful not to be judgmental to that person. Because we don't know how he or she actually acting with those gathering knowledge. Krishna has a relationship with each one. And we should pray for that person. Okay, this person has so much knowledge. I wish this person, or we can encourage him. Prabhus or mothers, you know so much. Can you share it with others and with us? It will be nice. I agree with you. Just gathering knowledge is not enough. It has to be applied. And that's how revealed knowledge develops. Realize. So acquiring knowledge, application knowledge, realized knowledge, then revealed knowledge. This is like a cycle goes. Then you become satisfied. That knowledge turns into bhakti. Now, if somebody is doing only, say, bhakti in the name of bhakti, but have no understanding about Krishna, is that possible? It's pure bhakti? No. Because Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 2nd chapter, he says, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Vasudeva, when you, Bhagavan, you offer bhakti, bhakti yoga prayojita means you engage. Two things develops. Janati asu vairagyam jnanam cha jat hetukam. Your understanding. You may not be able to explain by quoting or something. That's all right, but your understanding will change. Said, yes, I'm doing this to please the Lord. This is my eternal duty, and I want to serve the devotees. This conviction, that kind of understanding, knowledge is very important. And then what will happen? Detachment will come. Detachment means you will do whatever you're doing, but you are not attached with this. See, like bodily needs, eating, sleeping, mating, different, you have to do it. You have to provide food, everyday body. But to be obsessed, I need money. When I retire, I need money. I want to pile up a lot of money. So in future, I will have a lot of food. This obsession is dangerous. We have to be very careful. That's all. I hope that helps you, Philip.
Yeah, I got some pretty powerful points out of that. And now the tough part is remembering, remembering when I need it. I mean, I think luckily a lot of devotee association means that it's easier to remember things because people bring it up, but it's just as easy to forget things. So yes. Yeah.
You are a wonderful devotee, Prabhu. I mean, I saw you as a Karmi outsider, and very soon, in few months, you are already very nicely practicing. That's very attractive to me. Thank you, Philip. Keep on going. Yes, Charles, you have a raised hand.
I was just gonna say one way I try to help keep my mind focused on Krishna at all times is we're told we're supposed to see Krishna in everything, birds, trees, and fish, and everything. So one way I try to keep focused, this is something I do, is see a bird, think, oh, Krishna. And it helps keeps you focused on Krishna since we're supposed to see Krishna in everything. That's
Good.
how
Good.
one way I keep focused.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful. To see Krishna in everything is not easy. It's a very advanced stage. Because sometimes when we see attractive things in this world, we get attracted. Now, we may be, while we get attracted, we may be thinking of that bird, as you said, oh, how nice this beautiful bird. But that's not the point Krishna mentioned. Krishna says that you see the attraction and you know this is me, but that attraction to take me to him. You follow? That has to be focused. Otherwise, if we just focus, oh, how beautiful this bird is. Oh, look at this red beak. What they call cardinal or very reddish. Like anyway, you can go fascinating about the birds, but that's not Krishna what Krishna meant. Is in 10:41. Krishna says, if you see something amaze, wow, that is me. But the purpose of that, it should take us to Krishna. We should think of Krishna, how he is the source of this attraction in the bird. So very good. Thank you, Charles. That was very nice point. Very good. Okay. We did very well. And any other takeaway? Otherwise, we can close here and looking forward to see you all next week. Yes, Mother Sushilpa, you have raised hand.
Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Once when you were in Tampa, in Bankin Prabhu's house, you have mentioned the same point. I mean, at least I'm thinking maybe it's related. You correct me if I'm wrong. When you were explaining about the subtle body, the three kinds of the body, and attaining Krishna Prema, you gave this example of hearing first, and then it has to go to the mind, and then it has to come to the heart. If it is hearing, and then if it is to the mind, and we don't apply to go to the heart, then it's like a total disturbance, complete disturbance. I mean, if it does not the destination should be the heart, but if the destination is not reached and it's only within the ear and the mind, the person, I don't know if a devotee at that point, but he would be restless, cannot control. So I'm just trying to understand if it is related to what you just mentioned in this class, that the pride will come, and one example is pride is what I'm thinking, plus, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
It's very true, Mother. It's very, very true. When we acquire knowledge, as you mentioned, this is also in 6.8, 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vijitendriya. When you have time, free time, you can read that verse and see the explanation Prabhupada put in the purport very nicely. What I understand, I remember, I'll explain that. Jnana Vijnana. So we hear through the ear. From the ear, it has to go to the intelligent or head, brain. What we just heard? Talking about Krishna. Oh, Krishna likes this. So we think, we contemplate. Without contemplation, there is no reflection, not possible. And when we contemplate, it will reflect, and then it will assimilate. You can actually think of Krishna. So here in the ear, then it goes to the head. When it goes to the head, you can send it to the heart. But from the ear to directly heart, it cannot go. So there is a little science. And you will feel satisfied. Believe or not, once you apply it, you realize you have a prasadam or not prasadam, you are feeling good or not feeling good, you are still satisfied. Yes, I'm chanting, I'm okay. Krishna is taking care of me. I should help. Even you're not feeling well, but still you will go on. You will not care for the senses impulse. Now in the material world, to be honestly, mother, so many talk about mind. People talk. So they're feeding the mind. That's true. But soul is still hungry. So what should we do? Hear Krishna Katha. Every day some pastime of Krishna, some Krishna Katha. That is the food for the soul. We have to feed the soul, we have to feed the mind, we have to feed the physical body. All three. Sorry. That's what the condition we have. In spiritual world, you don't have to worry about all three. Only one, soul. And you are with Krishna, you're getting big feast every day. Bigger feast than you can handle. This is the presence of Krishna. That's why they are so happy. But here we have so many things to take care. Our mind, our physical body, physical needs. Then soul also. Otherwise, soul will stay hungry. Maybe, I saw one professor. She's very erudite scholar on the mind, this, that. I had a lot of talk. I learned something. She also learned from us, and she took a book from me also. It was good. But I told her, I said, but at the core of your existence, you are not the mind. Your thought is not you. You find out the source of the thought. Consciousness and the route of consciousness are two different things. You are busy of the route, how consciousness acts, but you are not aware where this coming from. Is the soul. Soul has to be fed every day with Krishna, chanting, meditating on Krishna like this. Every day we must feed our soul. I mean, we are the soul. Don't take it in a wrong way. When I say we have to feed our soul, I don't mean like I have a separate soul than me. No, I am the soul. So I have to feed the soul, the mind, and the body. This is a very nice question. Thank you. Thank you. This is very nice. I hope you got some out of it, this discussion.
Yeah. Yes,
Thank
Prabhuji,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Philip, you have more question?
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the questions.
No, that's okay.
Apologies if it's a silly question, but
No, we have 2 minutes, like we'll finish because I have another thing I have to attend. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu.
So there's this saying in the verse, Anushmara, go on remembering. And then also I hear Krishna gives forgetfulness and remembrance. And then I remember, and in another talk, you said that the demigods control our senses and all our actions. So like, I'm actually wondering how much in reality are we actually doing? It doesn't actually feel like we're doing much other than changing our desires, and everything else is arranged. So like, how much are we actually doing, and how much do we think we're doing that is being done through higher channels? And I mean, how do we remind ourselves, if what I'm thinking is right, that we're not in control of anything other than our desires? How do we remind ourselves that our actions are being, I guess, granted, and our paths are being granted by higher channels based on our desires, and we're not the ones actually executing half of this stuff?
When you have time, you do me a favor, you read Bhagavad Gita 15:15. 15 chapter, text 15, Krishna talks about it. Sarvasya chaham ridi sannivisto matta smriti gyana apahanancha vedasya sarver ahameva vedda vedanta kit vedanta vichaham. So in that verse, when you read, you'll see Krishna says, from me comes the forgetfulness and memory, both. But how Krishna sanctioned it, we have to be fully aware. One day we can talk, maybe next week. But just to have some idea that Krishna never sanctions something unless you are the initiator. Say, in a practical life, say I want to chant Hare Krishna, but I also don't like that devotee or that person or that things or that news, whatever it is. So I'm contemplating on that. I desire to contemplate. That power I have. desire to contemplate. Then Krishna will say, well, you want to think of me or you want to think of that news? But I am choosing to news. So then Krishna says, okay, you cannot do both. So I check the news and close my curtain, so you will not see me. And then after some time, I say, oh, this is not what I want. I want to think of Krishna. Then Krishna says, okay, I'll close that one. And there's it. Now you tell me, Philip, who is guiding this? Yes, in between the demigod, but who is doing it?
Yeah, it's us, since we're the start of the act. We're the start of it.
Yes, next week we'll discuss this. Just remember, I am the initiating cause, Krishna is the sanctioning cause, and material nature is instrumental cause. This is a big thing, but this is about your life we are talking. We are not talking about something outside. It's our life. How we make decision, how our little decision can produce what we are actually. We are product of our own decision. That's a fact. But how? Yes, this is a very subtle question, Philip. Very nice. I'm very proud that you are diving into this philosophy. So nice. Thank you, Prabhus and Mothers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataruvesya kripa sindhavaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Srila Prabhupada